Hi, I'm Angie, and you're watching Dante's Boxing.
The one and only, the one in a lifetime top of a fighter, Floyd Money Mayweather, also known as TBE, came out stating that he did not fire Jim Lampley. He made him resign. He stated that he changed the landscape of boxing and he destroyed HBO. It drowned after he left. And he made PBC, and he is PBC, and he is part of PBC, and him and HAYMON are one. So that being said, y'all should check out Floyd Mayweather's latest interview, because I think, me personally, is Floyd Money Mayweather's best interview yet, where he went in depth on his career and the struggle that he was facing, because he was fighting the critics. And with that comes more than just fighting his opponent. He's fighting the commentators, he's fighting the referee, the judges, you name it. He was going against all odds and he prevailed. With that being said, I encourage y'all to watch this interview because it was a very informative interview where he told on the key to success in life. Not just in boxing or for a fighter, but just for a human in general. He basically gave the green print, as he liked to call it, not the blueprint, is the Mayweather way, the green print of how to be a general, of how to come from nothing and be something. So I encourage y'all to watch the interview and let's talk about what Floyd Mayweather brought to the table. But before we do so, subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumber by the second, then don't and listen to these decasts /O media. Of course, shout out to Dante for starting the new media wave. And you already know, if you're a casual fan and you want to be a hardcore, all you have to do is attend the IQ University every Sunday live on Split Decision. And hopefully one day you will graduate and be a hardcore boxing fan. So you could attend the IQ University for free by clicking on the notification bell to get notified every time we post or go live on Split Decision. And let's go ahead and dive into the business at hand. Like I always tell y'all, everything I bring to the table is facts and facts only. I leave my emotion out of it, as y'all should do as well. Of course, some fans have emotional feelings that they are attached to, and because Floyd Mayweather done whipped every single fighter they love, they hate Floyd for that. However, I'm talking about straight facts, so we're going to start it from the beginning of Floyd Mayweather's legacy, and that's when he turned pro. Now, Floyd Money Mayweather had an issue or two with Bob Arum because Floyd Mayweather had a bigger mindset. He had a bigger goal. He had a bigger vision that Bob Arum wasn't seeing in Floyd. So Floyd Mayweather, of course, he wanted to be promoted not just in the Hispanic community. He wanted to be promoted worldwide, in the UK, in Russia, in China, you name it. He didn't care what kind of promotion. He just wanted to get promoted everywhere, regardless of how big or small. However, Bob Arum didn't believe in that vision. He only wanted to market him where the boxing fans are the most hardcore, which that's Mexico City. So that being said, Floyd Mayweather and Bob Arum always had a feud. Floyd Mayweather actually was taking chump change till he won a world title because he knew that the bigger picture is becoming money made. He always had that vision. Now he saw Prince Nassim Hamed, of course, and took some of that blueprint as well. Floyd Mayweather, you might mistake him for being a cocky person. However, he's not what you see on camera. There's just a persona. He's actually an honest person, not a cocky person. So that being said, fast forward 10 years later, Floyd Mayweather became pound for pound number one without any question on everybody's list, regardless if you hate him or love him, because he was the boogeyman. He was the most skilled man, and you could even call him the A Boogeyman, because he was out here making fighters singing "Oh nah 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 nah" when they see him, because they didn't want no smoke with him. With that being said, during that period of time, Floyd Mayweather shut down all critics. When he used to fight on HBO, one day they will say he's a good boxer, but he's not as great as a Sugar Ray. Just hating on him, period. Then with time he proved that he was. Then one day they will say he's not exciting. So the next fight, it'll be one of his most exciting fights, and one of the most exciting fights of the year, like he did versus Endon. Then Larry will say, well, there's no fans around. He's not an Oscar de la Hoya. He's not putting asses in seats. He doesn't have the it factor to be a superstar. However, ironically enough, Floyd Mayweather turned out to be the biggest boxing superstar in the game, selling the highest or the most pay-per-views, I should say, of all athletes in all sports, including UFC. Forget boxing, any sport. He exceeded expectations. He defeated all odds. Against all odds, he prevailed in front of his biggest haters, and that's Larry, Jim Lampley, even Brian Kenny. Y'all could go back and watch every Brian Kenny interview that he did with Floyd Money Mayweather, critiquing him, claiming he's ducking so-and-so, and I kid you not, every fighter that Kenny named on every single interview, Floyd Mayweather fought right after and defeated him with ease. And Brian Kenny still didn't give Floyd Mayweather his props or his credit. And that's the least thing you could do, hate him or love him. So I say all of this because when Floyd Mayweather was receiving all this hate, and HBO had an episode after Floyd Mayweather defeated Oscar de la Hoya and became Money May, they brought Oscar and treated Oscar like he won the first fight, which was mind-boggling. So Floyd Mayweather has thick skin. He didn't let that bother him. He was seeing the bigger vision, and that was by getting the biggest deal in all sports. When he requested from HBO a contract for 6 fights for, I believe, $260 million. Don't quote me on that. However, HBO surprisingly made the worstest business decision that I have ever witnessed. They let Floyd Mayweather go and said absolutely not, thinking Floyd Mayweather didn't have a plan B when he had HAYMON on his team. Now, of course, HAYMON, he was unknown at the time, especially to the boxing industry. Of course, he was very popular in the music industry, but the boxing industry, he was pretty new. So they underestimated HAYMON and Floyd, even though Floyd Mayweather was the biggest superstar in the game, over Manny Pacquiao. And we know this a fact because Mayweather was selling more pay-per-views than a Manny Pacquiao. Y'all also have to keep in mind that Mayweather 24/7 was way more entertaining than a Pacquiao episode, because of course Pacquiao is the nice guy. Mayweather was playing the villain role. And Mayweather invented and was the pioneer behind 24/7, which UFC took a page out of that blueprint, or the green print as Mayweather likes to call it. So with that being said, Floyd Mayweather, history says that he's not to be fucked with, excuse my language. And they had to be informed on that because they know he left Bob Arum and bought himself out of the contract by paying Bob Arum around $300K to become his own boss. And that was the smartest decision he ever made. So they had to be informed on that and know that if you don't go with the plan, he's gonna find another way. And Bob Arum knows that as well. And I'm pretty sure that's the biggest and the silliest mistake Bob Arum had ever made, is letting Floyd Mayweather out of the contract so early. So with that being said, HBO, they treated Floyd Mayweather like ish. They pressed all kind of buttons on him. They tested him. They even went far and beyond blaming him for things out of his control. For example, Ortiz started a whole incident of headbutting Mayweather, busted his bottom lip. So Mayweather made him do a buzz down and he dropped him, and reminded the boxing world of the #1 rule: protect yourself at all times. However, how you gonna blame Mayweather for that when Ortiz started the whole incident? And Larry went far and beyond blaming it on Mayweather. And I could go on and on and on about HBO putting the blame on Mayweather for not making the Pacquiao fight, when it was Pacquiao that turned down a 50-50 split due to a drug test. But they didn't care about that. Jim Lampley came out stating that there's nothing wrong with taking supplements, basically. And he was cool with the idea that Floyd Mayweather should fight Manny Pacquiao without a drug test, which lets you know how far and beyond they willing to go to see Floyd Mayweather go away. So with that being said, Floyd Mayweather laid out his contract, and HBO said absolutely not. He took that same contract to Showtime. Then he told both of them to negotiate. However, HBO felt like Mayweather is playing them like a fool, and they said absolutely not, making the biggest mistake of any business decision I had ever seen, because it already had taken place before with Tyson when he left HBO and went to Showtime. But even though they are both equally popular, especially when they both made the move, however, the difference was Mike Tyson was not the best in the world. He was considered almost washed up to Tyson's standard. On the other hand, Floyd Mayweather was pound for pound #1, no question about it. He still was undefeated, and he's still undefeated till this day. And not to mention, the difference between Mayweather and Tyson was the dedication level, was the vision, was the brain, was the patience and the calmness of Mayweather, and the calculated moves that he made outside of the ring. Because inside of the ring, he was a beast. He was a monster. He was a Tyson in the ring. And the only difference between Pretty Boy Floyd and Money May is Pretty Boy, he didn't care. As soon as he mentioned his name, he coming for the smoke. Money May, he waits till he hears people say he's ducking this guy, then fights him right away. So with that being said, HBO made a huge mistake by letting Mayweather go, because he changed the whole landscape of boxing. Because there was only one fighter that's bigger than the sport, and that's Muhammad Ali, the highest, the greatest. Other than that, Mayweather is as big as a person could get in the sport of boxing. So when he went to Showtime, he changed the whole landscape of boxing, and he made Showtime alive till this day. He created PBC with HAYMON help, and now PBC is the strongest boxing franchise, and they almost as strong as UFC is in the MMA. So with that being said, over the years, Jim Lampley was criticizing Floyd Mayweather, Larry, Max Kellerman. Jim Lampley went even as far as saying HAYMON was the cancer of the sport. PBC is dying. They don't have enough money. They losing money. He threw all type of lies to the media, and it ended up backfiring on him, because ironically enough, whatever you speak, you receive right back, like Deontay Wilder always say. So everything Larry was speaking, it ended up happening to him and HBO. HBO went out of business. Larry did not get fired like Mayweather said. Mayweather said he's not going to give him the pleasure of firing him. Instead, he made him resign. Some people might say that's a little petty. I think that's just a little clever. Of course, y'all have to understand the humor, but one thing for sure, Jim Lampley didn't have no humor. He only had hatred toward Mayweather. I don't know what it was. Maybe you are who you hang with. He hanged around Larry too much, so that could have been it. Or maybe Mayweather stole his girl, because that's how Jim Lampley was treating it almost. And no disrespect to Larry. However, one thing for sure, he went far and beyond, hating on Mayweather on more than one occasion. Even though early on Mayweather's career, he was actually showing love and interest. And then all of a sudden, as soon as he beat Gotti in the Oscar, talking about two-faced person. And Jim Lampley even had a list called the Gotti list, which in other words is the hope list. Is the fighters that get the benefit of the doubt because of the complexion for the protection. You have to keep in mind, the fight game was the cancer game that Jim Lampley spread out hate, calling HAYMON the cancer of the sport. And it turned out that HAYMON is the savior of the sport. With that being said, Floyd Mayweather, he became 50-0, made $1.1 billion in the boxing game, sold the highest pay-per-view tickets, is top 5 greatest fighter of all time, at least top 10 on anybody list. And I could go on and on and on as far as his accomplishments, defeating up to 20 or 23 champions. We know Sugar Ray Robertson and his legend. He had 200 fights, but Mayweather fought more champions than him. However, I do have to factor in, back in the day, there was only one belt in every weight division, and there was an in-between division such as 140, 154. So I try to put that in perspective when I talk about these things, and that's why I try to compare fighters to their era and decades instead of all time more so, because there's a lot of elements that come into play. But one thing for sure, with time comes perfection, and Mayweather definitely perfected the Philly shell and turned it to the Mayweather defense. So like I always tell y'all, Roy Jones is the most gifted fighter of all time, Muhammad Ali as well. However, as far as technique, as far as perfecting your craft, skill-wise, I think Mayweather did it best. So with that being said, I could speak of Mayweather legend all day, of all the records he done broke in the sport of boxing, from the highest defense and offense percentages, etc, etc, etc. But I'd rather focus on the main point, which is Jim Lampley, Larry, Max Kellerman, and whoever hated on Floyd, from Kenny and all of the above. Floyd Mayweather proved every single one of them wrong and still didn't get his credit. However, if you're not moving with the wave, you're going to be history, because Mayweather is the wave, and he paid the way to all these fighters today. And you see everybody want to fight Conor now, even though they criticize Mayweather for it. Now Canelo want to fight him, now Oscar want to fight him. I won't be surprised if Bob Arum called out Conor McGregor. So I say all of this because HBO hated on Mayweather, and that was their downfall. Because Mayweather, in my opinion, is the athlete of the decade. Not just this decade, but the past 2 decades, with his accomplishments and his achievements, which we talked about on Split Decision. And I'm gonna leave y'all with my favorite Mayweather quote, and that's, "I'd rather be hated for telling the truth than be loved for telling a lie." And truth hurts sometimes. It might bust your eardrum. However, if you learn to receive it, you might could achieve these things that Mayweather achieved your way. With that being said, subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumber by the second, don't, and listen to these decaf, aka dumbass casual fans / old media. Shout out to DBN, my broski, Dante, my Aki, for starting the new media wave that I'm a part of. I appreciate Dante for giving me the opportunity to post on his platform. And of course, if you're a casual fan and you want to be a hardcore, all you have to do is attend the Aki University every Sunday live on Split Decision. It's free to attend the Aki University. All you have to do is click on the notification bell to get notified every time we post to go live on Split Decision. And we offer the Book of the Truth too on Split Decision. So tune in. Every Sunday is a boxing debate / talk show. Of course, follow my man Lunatune for the funniest boxing memes in the description box below. Follow me too at Aki TV. Follow my broski, my Aki, Dante on all platforms in the description box below as well. Of course, Dante, he's getting money overseas. He's over here too busy building hotels overseas. So congratulations to my broski. May many more blessings come your way and all my Akis, and to be continued on the next episode of Aki TV. Peace, and we out.
Hi, I'm Angie, and you're watching Dante's Boxing.